Welcome to the DorkLair Collecting live stream. Chris and Larry could not make it tonight, so we've got a special guest here, Josh Brown, to help co-host tonight. How you doing, Josh?
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
And this is your first time on here, right?
It is. It is. I think I can count on one hand how many times I've been on any stream, but yes, first time here.
Awesome. Well, welcome. And we have some special guests. We're going to talk about the Cursed Dead. We've got Adam Van Winkler and Phil Ramirez here to talk about their project. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Howdy. Happy Thursday. I think that's what day of the week it is.
Friday Junior.
Yeah.
I love I love doing this on Thursday nights and then kind of like kicking into the weekend. So recent pickups. Who wants to start? Josh, have you picked up anything recently?
I have not received anything. I have a ton of stuff in the mail. It's been 0 to negative 10 degrees here in southern Indiana for the last week, so I think everything's moving a bit slowly. I have a couple of cartoon dioramas from NECA on the way. I have my in-stock sale order from the Horsemen on the way, so I got an all-in for the Armory there, and a couple other figures coming in. I finally got that not Battle Cat from Savage Crucible coming, and then my Cat's Lair is shipped as of today. So I'm overly worried about that.
It's like everybody who says the Cat's Lair is coming in has this look on their face of like, I can't wait, but I'm also like a little concerned.
Can I interrupt, Josh? Because I need to throw this out there, and like, you know, Rick always makes fun of me, art with toys. We worked on that. We worked on the Cat's Lair. Gentle Giant Studios, we 3D printed and painted the display prototype for Super 7 when they unveiled it at Comic-Con. And I remember like when we first were printing it and we were getting like, we got the head off of the printer. I was like, holy, this thing is huge. Like the cat head is bigger than my head.
Right. That's insane.
Absolutely insane. But we had nothing to do with shipping out everything.
I was going to say, disclaimer, Gentle Giant did not design the packaging or
exactly.
So that's on the way. We'll see how it goes. I'll be sure to post pictures up whenever that finally arrives. I have a spot for it. I spent my whole Christmas vacation, but finding where it will go, and then I started seeing all the pictures of the boxes and got worried. But that's
My
it.
joke with Super 7 was that they needed to make it out of like the outdoor kids playset material, so that way it would be all weather, because that's the only place I could keep it is outside. I'd have no room for the thing.
We'll slide down the paws into the.
Yeah.
It's big enough to be a fixture on a playground. How about you, Adam? Recent pickups?
Yeah, I always have pickups. I'm financially irresponsible. I got in the SHF Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Nice.
Comes with a nice little head pool as well. If you have the first one, it's generally the same. I mean, it's actually a fully unique figure, but it's the same thing. It just looks slightly different.
Right.
And then I was at, we did the Frank and Sons meetup last Saturday, and I picked this up. This is the 3-0 Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
So it was $40. So it's like, you know, a little bit more expensive than Jada, but it's got some crazy articulation, die cast also. I love the Jada Mega Man stuff, but I also love Mega Man. So I wasn't going to say no. Grabbed him. And then literally just opened this today. I don't know about you guys, but I love Muff Toys.
Nice. And
I got in their Clark Kent, and this thing is fantastic. I got this from 5K Toys, and it is really, really nice. All of the Muff Toys releases so far have astonished me with the level of detail and quality and stuff. So I am a big fan, and that's it. That's all I got today.
Phil?
My pickups, I don't have them with me, but I got vintage, the Statler and Waldorf that Palisades made. I sculpted that back in the day. So I got them at a antique toy store that was pretty cool. Reasonable priced. Yeah.
Nice.
In package. Like fully good.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
in package price?
Yeah, they were in package.
That's really good.
It's like one of the few times that I sculpted something where my name is on the package.
Oh, nice.
Very rare.
So is this like adding to a collection of them, or is this like is this the only in box one of this you have, or do you have a whole bunch of them?
No. I just have these two.
Oh wow, that's funny.
I'll buy stuff that I made.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there was too many that was a big line. There was some cool stuff though, but didn't get into it.
When you get to the register, do you like kind of give them like the wink? Like you're like, yeah.
No,
would you like to see my ID? And
no, I'm
show you the back of the box.
I'm ultra aggressive about it. I'm like, that's me, man.
That name is my name.
Yeah. Look at the card that I'm going to pay with. It's the same.
I would.
Yeah. No, I mean, I ended up talking to the guy about toys. I even pushed the Cursed Dead on him.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
There you
Wearing
go.
my salesman hat.
Yeah.
And Bill,
I just fixed my mic. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you sound.
It was on the correct mic, and then sometimes when I hit live, it switches the mics for some reason. Sometimes if I just like mute myself and then unmute myself, it switches the mics. So yeah, thank you, audio. Yeah. Okay, and then so for me. So I did also get the Savage Crucible,
not Battle Cat
guy, right? Veterus Repax is his name, and I haven't opened it yet because I'm still nursing a finger injury, and I know when I open that up, I'm gonna want to be like tearing it apart and popping and swapping with it.
Yeah, sharp and spiky.
Yeah, and it's just like I can't grip. And so I can't do that stuff, and it's just going to frustrate me. So I'm still kind of waiting on that one.
Does he come with the set of feet without articulated toes also?
Yes. Yeah, he's got the updated feet. Yep.
I got my feet in the mail the other day without articulation, and I was showing my wife, and she thinks I'm so weird that I get feet in the mail.
Well, I kind of went on down a rabbit hole of the trading cards. You know, the tarot-sized cards that they come with. And I bought a bunch of extra of the slates and then took the cards out and sold the loose figures, like a lot of them. So I had a freaking shitload of feet delivered to my house because I had originally ordered all those figures. And it's like, can I I should try to find the people who bought all those off me on the groups and stuff, but it's kind of a lot of work. Anyway, so there was that. And then, so Raw Shark around Christmas time had a drop, and that's the Calgrim figures. And these are customs. So this is the custom Calgrim, painted by Raw Shark. And then it's like some custom, cloth goods on there. So that took a little while, but that finally came in and it's beautiful. That's my first Jesse Moore piece right there. And we'll talk a little bit of Glyos in the news later. And I think I think that's it for me. We are going to actually, let's get into the chat real quick. Let me run down who's here. Okay, so Blake was in there, number one. We've got Brian Carr. We have My Schizoid Kingdom, Mirko, Jeff Evans, Rob Zamora, Dave Orkin. Hey, Josh Brown is in the chat. Mike V, guy. Curtis, KB Toys. That is actually KB Toys. That's them.
Oh, nice.
Ben G.
I miss you.
Jordan is here. Hank is here. Nate is here. Chris Bouchard. Hedgehog again. Wesley. Kirby. Kevin McCoy. Happy birthday. It was Kevin McCoy's birthday like a couple days ago or something. Jeremy Govier. Heinrich Hoffman. Who else? Mr. Ryan Clark.
Hey.
Who else? Thomas.
Mr. Ryan Clark.
Bat Force Grump. D. Blake. I think that name's going to come up again very soon.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. And we got a super chat from Chris Bouchard. Hello, everyone. Can't wait for Gourdy. Heck yeah, that's my favorite one, too. Who else? Plasty is here.
Nice.
Plasty.
Saturday morning toy collector who has their show tomorrow morning. I think they are going to have Trevor Williams 1/6 shooter on. It's like a pre-recorded thing, but I think it's tomorrow morning. It's going to be published. Let's see. A is here.
I own the Mezco, but I would buy a Muff Toys Dick Tracy as well.
Yeah.
That's really
Michael
their name?
Carter.
Yeah.
Kevin Dufresne is inundated with Joy Toy.
I have a giant shelf of the Warhammer Joy Toy figures.
Do you have all like the big mechs and stuff, or?
I have one of the big mechs.
Yeah.
I would have more, but I'm financially irresponsible to a point.
To a point
where it's like the credit card gets hit, and I got
That's how you know eventually. Yeah, they'll stop letting you buy them soon.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, what? It's not all fake money free.
They become the parent, the credit card company.
Can I write you a check?
No, not for you.
Let me run down some more of these. We got Joe Gonsalves, Jeff Evans, Steph Ork, and then Joe Gonsalves gifted 10 memberships. Thank you. This is like something he does every week. He's the best.
That's awesome.
Rick Jones, Purple Gang Gang, 78 points.
What up?
Tanya McCoy, Van Johnson. Let's see. Scott Akers, Frank Silva,
Beardy.
Yeah.
Lago Figs.
Nice.
Let's Get Dead. And I think that covers everyone. Awesome. Okay, so
I had one pickup real quick that I just remembered.
Yeah,
I have my first Dio that will be here tomorrow from Mr. 78 Points of Articulation.
Nice.
So I'm extremely excited.
Which one is that?
I got the Mythic Dungeon.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I have the Detolfs back here are like more than half of them are holding 78 points of articulation dios.
Nice.
I was a supporter from I think the first 7 that he released, and then I was like,
wow.
I
You
don't
are
have
financially
money.
irresponsible.
Yeah, I am totally out of money.
Hedgehog likes your backdrop, likes your display back there.
Yeah.
Josh.
It used to be all Legions, but then part of the reshuffle during the holidays moved the Legion to a bigger spot because they were outstretching what I had back here. So yeah. So.
Okay, so speaking of the chat and all of the DorkLair denizens, we have our channel members here. As always, a huge thank you to the channel members. It's $1 a month. So if anybody's out there wants to support us, it's $1 a month, and I very much appreciate it. And what that does, as well as the super chats, these are the ones from the last couple of weeks. What that does is it allows us to do giveaways and to fund giveaways. So we are going to give away this week a Ninan Infantry from Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legion's Ninan Infantry.
That's a great giveaway.
Thank you.
Am I
thought after?
Am I eligible for this? Or
I was able to. Nope, you're on it. I was able to. So during the in-stock sale, you could buy 3 initially, and then after 24 hours, they opened up more. And I just bought 1 initially. I bought a Snag and a Ninan Infantry, and then right when it went to you could buy more, I immediately went on and bought 4 more, and then it like instantaneously sold out. So I snuck in there and I was able to get a couple extras. So I have a couple for giveaways now.
Nice.
Anyway, so what we're going to do is, hold on, I need to pull up the tool. and share the screen here. Let me present giveaway tool.
I regret not doing more snake men. I got one during the sale, but that body will be around, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to see the heads again when we get into the news. So let me, where'd it go? Snake Man. Hashtag Snake Man in the chat, and we'll leave this banner up on the bottom so people can see that. Hashtag Snake Man, and then let's just make sure that make sure it's working here, and then yep, it's working. Okay, so we'll remove that, and we're gonna get into the rest of the slideshow. All right, Snake Man, everybody, Snake Man. And when we get through all of the, basically when we're going to start the news after the Cursed Dead stuff is when we'll spin the drawing. All right. Slide that over there. Okay. So I guess the first thing we should talk about is this image here, which is from where, Adam?
That is from Big Bad Toy Store. So they put this together. They used our images and masterfully put together a group shot here, and posted them up on their front page yesterday, I believe. And so you can go and you can pre-order Cursed Dead from Big Bad Toy Store. There is the little, hey, warning, this is a Kickstarter campaign, and if it does not get funded, then your pre-orders will be canceled. So it is also a couple bucks more expensive to go through Big Bad Toy Store, but you also won't get charged until they ship them. So if you want them for a slightly less expensive price and you want them in your hands maybe slightly sooner, you could go directly into the Kickstarter and back those, and then you'll be charged for that on Saturday, February 1st. If you want to wait until these are out, that our estimation is March of 2026. So Big Bad Toy Store would charge you once they get them in hand and ship them out.
And it should probably be said that also, if you want, the most impact is going to be to support the Kickstarter.
Right. Yes.
Because you're going to get a higher percentage of that money straight into the funding of the Kickstarter. So if you have the means to back it early and back it straight from the Kickstarter, that is also just like a factor to throw in when you're considering that stuff.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I kind of listed all these out. Do you want to start with just like a general overview?
The Cursed Dead, it's like a 1/12 scale toy line, so it's meant to fit in with every single 1/12 line. I'm pretty sure you have in your slideshow here some of the comparison shots with other lines, but we generally wanted these to fit with lots of different toy lines. Our line is all creatures and monsters and demons and stuff. So, and it's also our painted prototype, as you can see in these notes, 104% scale. So we were accounting for some production shrink. So it will be approximately somewhere in between 6.75 inches and 7 inches tall when standing straight up and down. But you will likely never have these standing straight up and down because they're loaded with articulation and they look really cool in creepy, crawly, crunched down poses and everything. Mm-hmm. But in general, they're meant to work with Mythic Legions, Unparalleled Universe, G.I. Joe Classified, Valverse, you name it, Monster Force here. They're meant to fit with any other toy line. Or if you so desire, you can start your own Cursed Dead shelf and, have just Cursed Dead figures as well. So I would not be offended if anyone wanted to just keep them on their own shelf as well. But yeah, we have so there's 9 figures in this initial wave. There's 5 basic figures at a $40 price point, and then there are 4 deluxe figures at an $85 price point. All of the figures come with multiple heads, multiple sets of hands, except for one, and that's the deluxe Dr. Crane, which is our take on the Fly. He has a lot of additional tooling and stuff going on, so he's kind of his own standalone piece that we assumed that people, if they buy Dr. Crane, they're going to keep him as Dr. Crane. All of the other figures in line, the basics and the deluxes, come with at least 2 heads, multiple sets of hands, and then character-specific accessories. The deluxes also have soft goods, and our soft goods are not just soft goods. We're trying to do some distress and paint work on them, kind of like the old 3A 1/12 scale toys. So I was a big fan of 3A back in the day. I used to be a 3AA member for many years, and I was, F5, F4. It's one of the F keys that every drop you'd have to refresh. Yeah, it was like the crazy, like you got to get it. And that's Ashley Wood with what has now become 3-0. And they were putting out these toys that the action figures at least had soft goods. And this was before Mezco was even doing soft goods in 1/12 scale. But the soft goods themselves have like paint and stuff on them. So you actually get a lot more grit and detail, and they almost make your hands feel a little bit dirty.
So this Calgrim that I was showing is very similar. It's like it's got that, it's got like that stuff on there.
It ups the artsy vibe. It kind of makes these feel a little bit more designery, and it also it gives them a little bit more of that realistic feel, especially because we're talking ours are all monsters and creatures and demons that are not the cleanest of toys. So we were trying to do something a little bit different. The soft goods themselves, I think for 3 out of the 4 figures, Phil actually worked on creating the soft goods, because he comes, not only is he a sculptor that started off as a traditional sculptor and then a digital sculptor, but he comes from a family of tailors. So he has all sorts of creative outlets.
Nice.
Yes, I can fix your clothes.
That's awesome.
He needs that skill because he's 7 feet tall, everyone.
So custom clothes just all the time pretty much, huh, for you?
Yeah. No, it's a lot of work, dude. Working small was weird, but it worked. Like actually cutting the forms and everything, it was interesting to do it like that. I haven't done that ever.
And
so
you actually did it at 2 different scales too, because we did it for the 2-ups and at the 104% size. And Phil had worked on some soft goods, because when we originally launched the Cursed Dead many years ago at Legion's Con, Phil showed off characters that are in our potential wave 2, a werewolf and the character named Pig, and those were grayscale mock-ups of what we intend to do down the road, and those were 2-ups with clothing as well.
That was Designer Con back in 2019, right?
November of 2019.
Crazy.
So basically 5 years ago, a hair over 5 years ago.
So Chris,
and the pandemic happened.
3 months before.
Exactly.
So
cool.
In the intro, you probably saw Chris and Larry. Chris was at that Designer Con, and I remember him coming back on, and we were just talking about this stuff and the Mortal Ruin. Are you guys? Is that you guys too?
So Mortal Ruin is myself and 2 of my coworkers at Gentle Giant, who also used to work with me at Soda Toys back in the day, and they were actually both groomsmen in my wedding.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the 3 of us working on another independent toy line, of which we hope to make something out of in the nearish future. But actually, both Renee and Beardy, who worked with me on Mortal Ruin, also did some work on Cursed Dead. But they helped, they assisted. We had lots of assistance from our friends in.
Beardy's an amazing painter, just insanely good painter, and he's got a great design aesthetic, and his eyes just it was cool. We just gave him figures and gave him here's a general idea of what we want it to look like. Go for it. And he came back with the Djinn in particular. That's Beardy, 100%.
Okay.
That's Beardy. just
Yeah,
going
he
on
painted the drinker. I mean, like he painted probably
most everything.
he was the one person that painted the most, and then we had Punker Mike from the toy community worked on 2 of the figures.
Punker Mike's done a bunch of stuff for us.
Yeah, Artman Customs, Nico Hodge painted the Crankle for us. So lots of skilled individuals helped out with the Cursed Dead for sure.
I know you were talking about you were trying to figure out which line you were going to kind of go with first. I'm glad you went with Cursed Dead though, because this is like something that is not really out at all right now.
Exactly. Like it was
different.
like Mortal Ruin has you know, like there's other military line, you know, like there's G.I. Joe Classified, there's Valorverse, and it's like Mortal Ruin we're gonna pivot and it is like the concept of it's in the future, it's post-apocalyptic. It just happened to have like kind of guys in gas mask vibes to start, but there's a lot more craziness down the road if we get the opportunity. But yeah, Cursed Dead was just something that we felt was like really missing in the toy world right now. And one of the things I've been telling people is like I collect every single freaking superposable toy line that's out there. Mezco, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified, and then I collect a lot of anime stuff. So SHF, Mayfex, you name it. And the one thing that is definitely missing in a lot of the import toy lines is like I have Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kaiju number 8, and like there's not many villains in these toy lines. So that's something where we're like, hey, our characters, they have their own standalone backstory. They are their own thing. Like we are trying to create our own IP and you know, it's an anthology series, but they can also be awesome characters for your other toy lines to fight, you know, like that's like we're trying to have that crossover appeal there to work with other stuff as well.
Which I think is one of the cool things about indie toy lines. It's like there's no like not necessarily some deep history of association with any of this stuff, and it's just a lot more fun to be able to just kind of like place your own imagination into it and make them into your own characters and stuff. I did want to mention Terrence called out the lack of rules in the description below that I have in the note here. I updated it, so if you don't see the rules, just refresh the stream for those of you. Basically, I'm trying to avoid international shipping because there's some legalities that happen with like giveaways and sweepstakes and things like that with other countries and stuff. So, I mean, I doubt anything would happen, but it's one of those things where it's like I just want to be kind of safe. That's basically it. And then also to just like message me on my email so that I know to like where to send it if you win. All right. So, okay. So I was hoping you could give us a little lore on these characters. Like, so tell us about the drinker.
Phil, do you want to talk about them? I know you're sick and but
I mean, yeah, go for it. I'll chime in if I have anything good.
Okay. So Phil came up with most of. He's the sculptor, and I insisted upon backstories like these little bios in general because I grew up, you know, with G.I. Joe and the G.I. Joe file cards being a thing that I absolutely loved because it gives you just enough info that you can then, you know, take it or leave it. You could use that and spin them off and play with the toys and like kind of use that as just like your jumping ground. So I was like, Phil, we need backstories for every single one of these characters. And he really delivered. His spelling and grammar needs some work, and that's what I offered. I went in there and I edited them, but I
have to hear that every time.
I know because I have to take credit for doing something. You know, like it's like that's it. That's all I've done.
He's right though. He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So
like but I remember like it's like I was seeing sculpts as he was finishing them, and I was like, these are so awesome. But then once I read the backstories, I was just like, oh, that just kind of sets it over the edge. And the drinkers here, the drinker is like their moniker that I guess humans or something gave to them because they drink blood. And then Phil thought it was really funny, and I think it's funny too because every once in a while we occasionally enjoy a little drink ourselves. So having the flagship character being
I used to really like to drink.
being drinkers was quite amusing to us.
I just read Dracula. We have a little book club in my Facebook group.
Yeah,
and this was my first time reading Dracula, and I gotta say, like, I feel like there's a heavy like anti-alcoholism, like there's a heavy like theme of like addiction and alcoholism and booze and drinking, specifically alcohol, in that book. I'm convinced of it. I don't know if there's been a lot of writing about that, but like that definitely comes across that way.
Yeah, it's like vampires definitely draw like a weird correlation to that. I could see that. Yeah.
They are essentially alcoholics.
Right. Yeah.
It's just
so our vampires are the drinkers, and they basically, like, we intended them to be army builders. So we do have additional vampire characters that Phil has designed, and we actually showed one off at DesignerCon back in the day, and that's our cowboy vampire called the Bloodslinger. Really, really cool.
But
good. Phil designed a ton of accessories for it. He's got like layered soft goods. So we were like, this one's like very deluxe. So we basically put a pin in that one, and we're holding him for hopefully like a wave 1.5 or something further.
Yep.
We have our own take on what would be like Dracula, more leader-based character. But again, that's something that we wanted to like hold off on while we got a lot of these other characters, because we wanted a variety. We wanted people, there's 9 figures, and we wanted people to be able to be like, hey, if I'm not getting all of these, I'm going to pick and choose my favorites, and not just being like, not have a bunch of the same type of character, So it's our takes on different monsters, creatures, demons, whatever. So yeah, all of the 8 of the 9 figures also come with a skull head. So the image that you just pulled up is the skull head on the drinker body. The skull head also has an articulated jaw. So the drinker figure comes with 2 heads. The previous head that you saw on the last slide with the closed mouth, creepy kind of smile. Then the new one that you see down in between his legs, which is the open mouth feeding head. And then the skull head that has an articulated jaw. And then he has 3 sets of hands. So there you go. And the line art shows all the pieces that you get in the box. So basically we've laid it out on the campaign page where you see one painted image, and then you see the line art and you see what comes in the box. And then there are links underneath that lead you to additional turnaround videos, additional prettier pictures than my plain white background pictures. So I'm really hoping that people will go visit our campaign and actually read the backstories, read and click on the links. I am asking a lot, I know, by asking people to go check it out and read, but I promise it's worth it. Like, the stories are cool, and when you click through to the pictures, they're much better pictures than mine. So it's very, very good in general to go through and take a look.
The backstories are good. I actually went through and reread them again today, and I've been really enjoying you've been posting the voiceovers on Instagram, and Bill lending his sultry voice to those and kind of get some.
There's more coming that I didn't do.
I was hoping you were going to do kind of just go through all of them.
Yeah, we're intending to go through all 9 of them. Obviously, we're down to like the final like 9 days. It ends on Saturday, so we're a little over a week left of the campaign, but. The character spotlight videos that we just posted that Josh was talking about, we're intending to get all of them out in time, but it's basically just bio being read out loud and then a little bit of Phil's insight on the design. And I love them. Like, it's like that video today, Phil, like that was great. I know Josh hastily put that together using stuff that we shot a long time ago, mixed with some of the pictures that we're just getting now. Art with Toys has been taking some pictures. We also have some prototypes.
Social media today. What did you post?
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, because you didn't even accept it as a collaborator. But it's the
told you I'm sick.
It's the character spotlight video of the drinker.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it came out great, and it's under 2 minutes long. So we're trying to make sure that people, like, if they don't want to read, they can just watch a video that is less than 2 minutes long. I know attention span is hard, so yeah, trying to get everyone to kind of get up to speed on our different characters. But this is the second basic figure in our line, and that's the Djinn. So he is a Djinn is another name for a genie. So he has that kind of traditional horror genie vibe where there is a lamp. Phil designed this crazy lamp that is articulated, so it hinges. You can kind of see it there, like where like it's underneath the spout, and the bottom portion is kind of like a face. There's so many creepy design elements in this stuff across the board that I can't wait for people to see them in hand. We had the meetup on Saturday, and some people got to like see them up close and like, hold some of this stuff. And it was just so exciting to see people be like, wow, like Phil went ham on these things. And my pictures definitely don't do them justice. But yeah, the genie.
People put them in hand because there's a lot that just doesn't show up.
We got a couple of people posting their favorites here. Jeff Evans says the Brood and Dr. Scant are my favorite too. And then Wade.
Scante, Bill. Scante.
Sorry,
you got to get the accent in there.
And then Scante and Crane for Wade.
What up, Wade?
What up?
Phil, do you want to talk about the lamp a little bit, and also the orbs that tie in the...
Well, so the genies, okay, so the Cursed Dead is essentially, it's a much bigger story, but we compartmentalized it so that it can be many things depending upon how far it goes, essentially. So as of now, it's an anthology where we have modern monsters and classic demons. Each one is represented, and the demons all have a blue orb inside of them, somewhere in them. And the Djinn is one of the old demons, and in the genie bottle there's a blue orb. You kind of see the little round thing in the mouth there, but the thing itself is a king's head cut off and also cut from the top, flipped over, and a bunch of metal pieces have been drilled into it. So it's a skull. If you flip that thing over, there's an actual inside of a skull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's very gross.
Not dark at all.
I've been told a lot lately that I'm twisted. So
Yeah.
The Djinn is my favorite basic figure.
Nice.
And my son's too. He drew that.
Oh, really? That's cool. I love that, dude. Oh, that's right, dude. That thing is awesome, dude.
That's probably where you recognize my name.
Yeah. That was so cool. That made my day, man.
Yeah. Phil, like, and seriously,
Talking about this right here?
Yeah.
So cool, dude.
Like, Phil was like texting me, and he was like on cloud 9. Like, he was
so
like
rad,
so
dude.
happy that people were drawing, like, because like Phil designed these characters like from scratch. Like, it was like his thing. So it's like, it's so cool to see other people's take on them, and like people getting into it enough that they're willing to spend some time doing art.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Yeah,
man.
and he's
I like
11.
it.
He's the
I
same
like this.
same age as
It's
yours.
my son. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to see him do that and get into it for a little bit. So
Yeah, he's really good, dude.
I don't know where it comes from. That's just, I mean, it's wild.
It's awesome.
Looking at toys all day long, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's got an eye for.
He's not into toys.
Oh, really? Nice.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's just all like he's into horror, and like, I mean, his mom's into horror and scary movies and stuff, so they kind of got that together.
Good.
And I'm just kind of forcing him into the toy stuff a little bit, and I'm just like, "Why don't you draw some toys?" He was like, "I like that one because it's bloody looking or whatever." So then this came out. So
You gotta let him read the stories.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Maybe this will get him into it.
That's cool,
So
right?
This is the gateway he needs. So
Yeah, this is we're bringing you together, guys.
Yeah.
So this here's the line art for the Djinn, and you can see everything he comes with. So he has 3 sets of hands plus an additional hand. So he actually has 7 hands total, and that's just because that hand that you see floating palm up on the character right side of the screen. That is to hold the genie lamp, because our grip hands were a little bit tighter, and then our kind of creepy hands just wouldn't have held it quite as nice. So he gets an extra hand. He also gets the skull head with an articulated jaw, and he gets his articulated genie lamp as well.
Sweet.
Oh.
And then my favorite, Gourdy.
This is a big fan. Like, it's Dr. Crane in the deluxes and Gourdy of the basics seem like, from what I've seen online, are the two kind of fan favorites between basics and deluxes. Gourdy, when I first saw the sculpt, I was like, okay, this is really cool. It's weird with multiple faces. Then Phil sent me the backstory, and the backstory, when I read that, I was like, this sounds like a horror movie that should be made immediately. It's just very I feel like I'm doing it a disservice when I say it's so obvious and by the book, like, where it's like, I can't believe
it's a horror movie by numbers, dude. It's perfect.
Well, it's a very, like a kid who gets bullied. He's raised on a farm, and his parents and like own the farm, and then they have a well-known pumpkin patch, every year. And then the kid gets bullied. He dies. The pumpkin patch grows into his body, and then he comes back every Halloween to take revenge. Like, it's like no brainer. But the best part is not even in the backstory, and that's Phil. Why don't you tell him about the face thing?
Oh, so every time he gets revenge and he takes somebody's life, another face will appear in the pumpkin. So if this was a movie, by the end of it, it would be circled completely with faces.
Yeah. That's
so
crazy.
Right now he's like kind of like mid revenge. He's got 3 faces carved in, but the idea is that, we would love to do like accessory packs, add-ons and stuff at some point down the road. So we could do additional heads with more faces in it and stuff. And
I could see like a crazy, like some of those gourds are crazy shaped.
Yeah.
And, like, the faces are not just straight around like this. There's like one up
Growth.
top, small, and they're like different.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
And Punker Mike painted this one. He did such a great job using some of that detail that Phil sculpted into the body to make it look like the vines and like some of the plates to look like bark and like all sorts of stuff, that it's like, oh no, this is a character that like literally has grown out of a pumpkin patch. And we have all sorts of things that we would love to do with Gourdy in the future for sure, because he's definitely a fan favorite character for us as well. And then that's Phil's original concept artwork.
Yeah,
it's wild on your all's body. I mean, it really does work as either muscle or sinew or growth or carapace, or it's kind of wild how you can get all those different things. That's
why I kind of built it that way, so that because we were going to do multiple figures, and like every color creates a different instinctive idea of what the thing is. Like, you look at it and you go, oh, I recognize that now as flesh and broken skin, or that looks like bark, or it looks like vegetation, or it was a lot of thought went into the texturing on this guy and the armoring and everything.
Phil Beardy just popped up in the chat again, and he said, give Gourdy 2.0 a crazy Tetsuo vine arm.
Oh, that'd be sick.
So like kind of like what we did with Dr. Crane. Dr. Crane has his own unique asymmetrical arm. But Beardy is the guy who painted a ton of these guys. So
I would give him new feet. I would do new feet, and that arm sounds cool. I like that.
Nate says he's hungry for some Gourdy pie all of a sudden.
I'd be concerned that it would taste revengey.
Yeah, it's gonna get you sick. And then you end up in the faces.
Yeah, you're another face. Yeah.
Is he only taking revenge on the ones who bullied him, or is he just going anywhere?
That's hey, part 2, somebody cut him off in traffic and he's going to go for it. It becomes a complete.
Wow, Gourdy has a short fuse.
Yeah. And he has a car.
Yeah.
He's driving to the grocery store.
Oh no, he was just in the middle of the street.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay. Hate, or is there a
Yes.
special pronunciation here?
You got it.
So there's hate and rage. They're the demon brothers. You got to kind of talk about them together because now they're sold separately, but we also have done like bundle options for multiple items through the Kickstarter campaign. And I again encourage people to take a look. All of the figures are available individually as rewards, and then there's multiple bundle rewards that as pledges. So you can go in and like you could save some money if you do a bundle, and all of those are also available as add-ons. So you can stack coupons on top of one another essentially. So if you did like, hey, I want 3 drinkers. There's a drinker army builder 3-pack, but I also want to get hate and rage. You can do the 3 army builder drinkers and then go in as an add-on, and hate and rage, if you buy them both together, they're available as a discount also, and you can stack that on top of the other ones. So you can
is very thoughtful because I feel like that doesn't usually happen in Kickstarters. I often see that.
I was trying to come up with stuff that's not always done, and I think that it's cool for the people that have noticed it, but I think a lot of people haven't noticed it. That's why I'm trying to mention it, because like there are ways in this campaign that you know, like our basic figures are $40, our deluxe figures are 85. That's if you buy them individually. If you do any of the bundles, that knocks the price down on these. So like I said, I just encourage people to go through the campaign page. It really is kind of like I tried to lay it out in a way that is easy to navigate and understand. And I just want people to take a look at it because it also has been updated throughout the campaign. Like as we, post more pictures, we've added all of that stuff into the main campaign page. So hate and rage, they're the demon brothers. The hate is the black with blue highlights. Rage is red with a little bit of black going on in his body. They both look awesome with their skull heads with articulated jaws. I think that they're some of my favorites in that form. But they also come with multiple sets of hands. They have the glowing blue orbs that Phil was talking about, because that's the kind of storyline with the demons, is that glowing blue orb, and the demons are our big bad in our toy line. Like they're the bad guys that the other bad guys have to fight against. So if we get to the point where we are actually expanding on the storyline, that's the idea, is that it's going to be demons versus the more traditional, classic, and mutated monsters. But yeah, exactly, Rick Jones. Black metal and death metal for sure.
You guys were laughing at that comment? That was awesome.
Yeah, that is 100% the idea. So hate has his glowing blue orb is in his forehead. Rage has his in his mouth. In our paint masters, they are opaque, but the idea is that we do want to do it as a translucent kind of glowing blue, so it'll have some hazy paint on it. But the idea is that these glowing blue orbs are a plot point in our storyline, but otherwise they'll just look cool if you're planning on just using these as demons for, your Demon Slayer figures or Jujutsu Kaisen to fight, or, Valorverse or Four Horsemen, Mythic Legions. Like these guys all they'll work with everything.
Yeah. Legions has vampires. Legions has demons, right?
For sure.
Did you see
and Djinns even.
Did you see the skull head on the?
Oh yeah,
the skeleton.
He probably has the picture somewhere in
the
here.
Skull head. Oh, I didn't put that in there.
I do. I have it right here.
Ooh.
Okay, hold on. Let me put you up.
It's my skull head on Legion. It looks cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
nice.
So it does, and it has the articulated jaw also. If you can see that in there. But yeah, we so obviously the Mythic Legion's body type, the necks, I know you guys know, and I know Bill for sure knows because he's always kit bashing and customizing these. The neck ball is very large, so we did have to Dremel out the inner head hole to get ours to pop on there. But yeah, we ended up painting it to match the initial bone color. And one of the things that I've wanted to do with the toy line, and if we it depends on how we go with the end of the campaign, but I always love when, you know, like McFarlane is doing a Kickstarter campaign, and it's like once you get beyond a certain dollar amount, like stretch goals or whatever, he starts just adding items in to the base offerings to kind of pay back the guys that are that have been supporting this, that are backers. And like that's one of the things that I'm like, you know, we didn't include a skull head with Dr. Crane, but this one, like, it would kind of make sense if we painted it in a traditional skull color and gave it to Dr. Crane.
Yeah.
And it's not to put on Dr. Crane. I mean, you could put it on Dr. Crane, but it would be like something that he would have in his lab because he was, you know, experimenting on himself.
Right.
So I thought, like, man, that could be really cool. So, you know, I would love to do stuff like that if we get the opportunity.
Cool.
You want to talk about hate and rage at all, Phil?
No, I mean, they're just, the story is you have two demons that they were summoned, they're brothers, but they hate each other and they're constantly fighting. So it's like they're destroyers of worlds, basically. So one group will summon one and one group will summon the other, and they'll end up fighting. But while they fight, they just wipe out everything. So there's no point to it. When they are summoned as a super weapon, they end up both destroying everything.
Wow, that's cool. And Hedgehog here selfishly telling everybody to go back it so that he can upgrade his Halloween display. And
Nice.
Thank you for the $2 super chat, Jonathan. All right. And then there's the sort of the loadout drawing.
Yeah.
And then getting to the deluxe stuff.
Deluxes. Phil, you got to talk about Dr. Crane. This is your favorite, right?
Yeah, this is I built this because I was like, if this doesn't work, I want this in my house. So Crane was like, I just went pretty ham on Crane. Yeah, classic. I mean, that's like one of my favorite characters of all time, the Fly. And everyone's kind of taking a crack at it. So I wanted my own version. And we were able to utilize the original body. And I created came up with an idea for if we just remove the arm and lock the giant arm into place with 3 pieces in the back, you'll be able to utilize the original figure and then just kind of create this extra piece. And it worked out really well. And his big arm, it's all simple application for production. Excuse me. So it's all kind of like ball pop-in balls, but because he's a segmented insectoid monster, it works and it hides the articulation, and you get full crazy range of movement.
Very cool.
So does the big arm pop into the normal?
Yeah. So you trap it here. You remove the what do you call them? The butterfly, and you just lock the pieces in, and you hinge in the ball joint. So the ball joint on the shoulder is an actual ball joint, but then everything else is pop in.
It's going to be fully assembled when you get. I mean, you might have to pop in the little, because that's on a ball and socket too. So it's like that thing's the weird appendage is articulated. The one on the back of his forearm, though, that just kind of plugs in, and it's like creepy, like extra arm thing. But then the thing that's on his left wrist is actually a fully sculpted piece that is a shedded human skin hand. It's really gross.
It's kind of like this. It's it's withered. Yeah.
Yeah. The back,
so it's
and
like flapping. It's like a boneless skin flapping.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's still some bone in there, but it's not needed. It's just kind of torn out.
And like the back of the Dr. Crane's head has like teeth in it and stuff. It's like Phil went nuts sculpting this thing. Nice. It's like so gross.
Captain McKay, random, says, I got to know what he got his doctorate What he got his doctorate degree in? Is it in the
Finance.
lore? Finance. Okay.
He's definitely some kind of like a biologist, scientist kind of guy. You know, like it's like he's experimenting with DNA, and he screwed up. So he obviously didn't deserve that doctorate.
Honorary from
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
He got it online.
Yeah. And there you see
I wish I had the back picture. I stupidly didn't put the back picture of the back, but this gives you a little sense of that shoulder there.
Yeah, the back is like it has maggots and stuff in it, right? Like it's so gross.
Yep.
Dr. Crane, the fly one is one where it's like Phil didn't even show me any of the digital sculpt images. He just completed the entire prototype and like plopped it down on a table in front of me. And I was like, holy crap, this thing is amazing. No notes. And he's like, yeah, no notes. It's done.
It's Oscar season, and I recently watched a movie called The Substance. I don't know if any of you guys saw that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Phil has been talking about that nonstop.
Dude,
I saw
crazy, right?
It was nuts, man. Like,
crazy movie. Like the trailers do not really prepare you for anything.
I had like a couple of weird friends be like, "You got to see this movie," and I was like, "Oh yeah." I went in totally blind and walked out there like, "Holy crap, that was absolutely nuts." You just
and
like
this. I'll just say that this gives me a little vibe of something from that.
If this keeps going, dude, I'm gonna go way crazier than this, dude. I've already got a couple ideas for stuff that's nutty. I want to
and like I know you're talking substance and like body horror stuff, but also like in the bio for Dr. Crane, we tease human sects. So it's like this Dr. Crane is just one of this. So it's like we like the idea of doing more in the same vein with, you know, potentially other types of insects as well.
Yep.
Another
Scante?
terrible doctor.
Yes.
Two bad doctors.
Yes. I'm a big horror fan, like since I was a little boy, and the line is kind of different eras of horror for me, and Scante and Crane are very like 50s. Like I just love the idea of the monster, the scientist who becomes the monster. It was always super cool. I love those movies. So yeah, you can see each version of each timeline. Someone called it out on a podcast that it was like is exactly that. Like it's generational design throughout the line. Because Gourdy's like an 80s horror movie, you know. Everyone has their thing. And then like at the end, I think would be the Crankle. Wendigo is like a 90s, 2000s horror movie, and Crankle is like something more out of a LSD fever dream.
Scante definitely has like 50s vibes, and like a lot of people have said also he looks like a perfect villain for like Ultraman or something along those lines. And Winger Luz has said Dandadan, which is Dandadan is very heavily inspired by Ultraman, and my wife and I watch Dandadan and love it. So like as soon as I saw Winger Luz say that, I was like suddenly more excited for Dr. Scante. I was like, oh, that's a great idea, because like that show is about fighting aliens and ghosts and stuff, and it's like, and Dr. Scante kind of like fits this weird kind of villain vibe for that anime.
And yeah, I would love to do the thing.
Oh, Erwin Papa did this amazing art. He has a time lapse also that he posted that I think I saw that on our page. He's so talented. I've actually never met him in person. Phil and him have been friends for a while now. I've been friends with him online and have always admired his art. And Phil, when he got Erwin to do this, I was like so excited. I was like, and what a great character to do this amazing artwork with too, because it's like he's definitely one of the weirder ones in our wave one, and like I love seeing him in this like badass posed out comic look that is just, it's awesome.
And it, like when you see like this, and even when you look at this and you can see that the gun is there, like this kind of really hits it home that he comes with
I love like
a
that's, we
space
haven't shown
blaster.
the painted blaster yet, because that's my fault. I missed printing that piece, so we're actually doing it. We will show it before the end of the campaign, but we're like printing it and we're gonna paint it. But Erwin he knew, he had notes. He knew Phil had told him like, hey, it's red and silver, this is what it's gonna look like. So we're definitely gonna show that soon. But yeah, he's got the like 50s weird sci-fi Ultraman-ish thing, like a giant ray gun, it's very, very weird creature that I think if you read the backstory, Phil's got all sorts of interesting stuff going on in there, because he is a clever and weird guy.
Yeah, it's a cool guy.
I just wanted to mention, by the way, a lot of the other imagery like that that time lapse and a lot of that stuff is on your Instagram, which is The Cursed Dead on Instagram. And then I may have forgot to put the rules to the giveaway below, but I didn't forget to put a link to your Kickstarter. So if anybody wants to browse that is in the description below as well while we're talking.
Yeah, so obviously we have the Kickstarter campaign going on, but we have thecurseddead.com is our website. That links, we're on every social media. So that way, in case, I know certain people, myself included, like I only really like to use Instagram. Now with this, I'm trying to post on every different, we have a Facebook page, a Facebook group. We have a YouTube page that Plasty has been absolutely super helpful with, that we're also saving all of our appearances as playlists. So this appearance on DorkLair is saved as a playlist on the Cursed Dead YouTube page. So that way everyone has a convenient spot to see, wherever we've gone over the course of the campaign. But yeah, we're if you do a search for the Cursed Dead, you should be able to find us.
I think it's important to not be only on Instagram, if only for the one reason where it's hard to pull pictures from it. So like,
yes,
today it was really nice to be able to just go to your Facebook page, go to the, where you can go to media, and it's just like all the pictures are just there. And then I could do that while I'm putting this together, because pulling stuff from Instagram is just like an extra step. It's a pain in the ass. It's, so it's nice to have stuff outside of Instagram too.
Thank you. That's good to hear, because I'm like cross posting on everything.
Yeah. Cross posting. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I started cross posting. I have it like automatically post the same thing, which isn't ideal, but like time I have it when I always post to Instagram and I'm primarily there, but I have it post to my Facebook page as well.
Oh boy. Crankle. So this is actually part of the reason why we launched when we did, is obviously somebody mentioned in the comments Nosferatu coming out on Christmas Day. We're like, hey, we're making vampires, and there's a awesome looking vampire movie coming out on Christmas Day, and one of our characters is a very big Christmas fan. In fact, he's self-proclaimed Santa Claus's #1 fan. He is an alien that decided he's absolutely enamored with all things Santa Claus, and he has taken upon himself to be basically Santa's enforcer for kids that are trying to stay up late and catch a peek of Santa. Crankle is there to take care of those naughty children. Like Phil, this is your character. This is your ideas. Do you want to talk more about it?
Yeah, that's it. It's a deranged alien that is in love with Santa Claus and decides to dress up like Santa Claus and take basically skin kids that are that stay up too late to look at Santa Claus. He skins them or takes body parts and puts them on his Christmas tree.
Eyeballs. Yeah. It's very warped. But Phil wrote a song and performed it. So we released like right before the Kickstarter launched. I think it was like Christmas Eve or maybe it was the 23rd. We posted our teaser announcing the Kickstarter campaign, which is the Crankle Christmas song. So it's on the Kickstarter campaign page. It's also on the Cursed Dead YouTube page. But we had photos and some video done by Toy Migos Cheney 180. And then Phil wrote a song and performed it. And Josh Falcon, the third member of our crew, he's a sound engineer. He did all of the editing and the final music for it and then put together the video. And yeah, we released this Crankle Christmas song music video that I played for my 11-year-old son, and he was terrified. He was like, "Is it like
Josh, has your kid heard it?"
Yeah, he loved it. He thought it was great.
It's crazy. And like Phil's, like everyone I'm sure that's listening to this, like Phil has a great voice. It's a very deep, crazy voice. But the song itself has like this, Oogie Boogie Nightmare Before Christmas /
Go back to Nightmare
classic Grinch, like very Christmas vibe sound to it. And it's but it's dark. Like it is definitely creepy. So please give it a listen. Oh, and Phil, tell them about the mask too.
Yeah. Well, it's meant to be like a store-bought like plastic mask, which is why the mustache and the beard are kind of stuck together. Because I was referencing like old, like Christmas horror movies, and they always had these terrible masks, and old masks look creepy as all get out. But it was painted so well by Nico that it looks like flesh. So it could be he skinned a Santa, and someone in a comment nailed it. It was like he saw a store Santa and like was like, "You're not really Santa Claus," and ripped his face off. And I thought that was really interesting.
So that's now going to be the actual story, I think, right? It's just so much creepier and grosser that it's like, no, that's a mall Santa.
He went
this guy likes to really overreact, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you thought Gourdy was bad with getting cut off.
Horror, dude. Everybody overreacts in horror. Horror has no chill.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
Yeah,
and
he
then...
also and just like the other ones, so everyone knows, he does come with the skull head as well. It's painted to match his body. There are pictures of that, like on our Instagram or Facebook and in the Kickstarter as well. So, the idea is to have versatility with these pieces, so you can, do whatever you want with them.
Crankle might have another head because we might actually
do the hood, because we were back and forth. Yeah, the hood is supposed to be removable, but we want to make sure that it doesn't mess up the horns. So it does fit on our end, but in production, if we're worried at all about it, what we're going to do is merge a head with the hood for the final product, as well as so you'd end up getting more, and we're not going to, that's just, if we can make it work so the hood is a removable secondary piece, that's what we're going to do. But if it doesn't, you're going to get a Crankle head that's in the hood, and then you'll get an unhooded Crankle head as well.
Mm-hmm.
Our final deluxe.
Hold on. Wade is saying, Collecting Brothers, good call. The base body reminds me of The Witches from Witches by Scott Snyder.
I don't know
Jock.
what that is.
Okay.
I'm gonna look that up.
Somebody told me that early on in the campaign, and I checked it out, and I definitely get those vibes for sure.
What is it? Is it like
it's good. Like honestly, the drinkers look very similar to it. Like, you should look it up. Like, it's like
I'll look it up.
It's its own thing, but they definitely have some similar vibes for sure.
Cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah, the deluxe figure Wendigo. This is probably my favorite of the deluxes. I just I feel like Phil really nailed it's like he's a creepy kind of zombie looking character that it's a cannibal. He's been cursed. Has the Wendigo curse. But the deer skull helmet thing is amazing, guys. And I love Beardy painted this one as well, and like with the crazy vibrant like zombie bright white eyes, and then the way Phil took a deer skull but then mutated it, like its teeth are all messed up, and then he made the eye holes, they're like all caved in and bigger. But you put that helmet on, which will be it's going to be like a friction fit. It'll stay on very well, lines up nicely. You see the whites of the eyes through it, and it just looks so freaking creepy. And basically, because I loved this so much, it inspired me to start what I've been doing through the campaign, which is Wendigo Wednesdays, where I've taken the Wendigo prototype with me out around LA, and I shot pictures of it when I went to go see Nosferatu. It was Wendigo going to the movies at the movie theater, and then Wendigo went to In-N-Out because he has an insatiable appetite. So Wendigo went and got 2 double doubles and some animal fries and chocolate shake, because you got to get the chocolate shake as well. But yeah, Wendigo went on with me on a Target run as well, and you'll have to stay tuned for next week, Wednesday, because we got at least one more Wendigo Wednesday.
Right, yeah, the last week, yeah. And then
he's
got a severed arm over here.
Yes, so he can use it as a club or it's a snack. So yeah, he comes with that as an accessory, and then you can see in this picture he's got the skull head with the articulated jaw on. So bunch of stuff, and he also, not in this picture, he comes with 3 sets of hands total. So fists, kind of open hands, and then kind of grippy hands as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that mask is big, at least from that line art.
It is very big. I had to really tweak it so that it would fit the head and like look menacing. Have you ever grabbed a real deer head? They're big, but they're not that big. Trust me. My buddy's a hunter. The Falcons families are all hunters, so like was able to like look at how it would work, and even the points on the horns, totally unnatural. Everything about it is unnatural. The skull, but it is recognizable as a head. But the teeth are. I've described it as, if it was ever alive, it would have lived only in pain.
And I think having a big head, it'll look good next to Gourdy. Like some of these things have some pretty big heads.
For sure.
So then here they all are together, 40 each for the basics. And I've heard some people talk about the price, and they're kind of looking at these and seeing 85 and seeing high prices, but there's like a nice range. Like you have the deluxe figures that come with a bunch of stuff and they're 85. And then you have the basic figures and they're only $40. And so there's,
I think I did ourselves disservice by, like in the Paint Master images, it doesn't show all of the stuff that they each come with. So that's why I've been trying to tell people, like, the line art images are what you want to look at to see what everything comes with. We have the line art images that say that on the line art, and then we also have it listed out in words what each of the figures come with. They do all come with at least 2 heads and 3 sets of hands for 8 of the 9 figures. Some of them even more stuff than that, obviously. And then the soft goods figures, they're not just traditional, like it's not like, hey, you go on eBay and this is soft goods that you ordered, or this is soft goods that we're gonna have the factory distress and paint and do additional. So it's like there are going to be wires in some of these elements. We haven't totally finalized what each gets the wires in them, but they are going to be wired soft goods where it makes sense. And they're going to have this level of like paint and distress on them as well.
And I mean, Dr. Crane has a whole entire different half body almost, which I'm sure and it's the same price as all the other ones. So I imagine that kind of gets spread out. Around the numbers do.
I mean, and we don't have the relationship with the factories, I want these things to be as affordable as possible, but in the first go, it's tough to go into a factory and be like, give us a great deal, guys. So we have to build that relationship, and hopefully that'll, if it works out, which I hope it will, we can start changing the prices later on with newer figures.
The idea is that, like, I've said it before. I respect what Vala did with his, it's like once he got established and he's a couple of waves in and he's working with his factory, I'm sure he has better tooling prices, and now he's done multiple waves with them, so he's probably getting better unit prices. He probably can also mess with minimum order quantities. Like I know that we finished this toy line, sent it to 3 different factories for quotes, and we received our tooling quote and then our unit costs for all 9 of the figures. And there's a minimum order quantity with factories where you have to make like literally thousands of each figure. And obviously like that's why our goal is where it is, and that's why the prices of the figures are where they are. It's not like some get rich quick scheme. Phil and I are in the toy industry. We intend to stay in the toy industry. So we want to make good toys, deliver on good toys, and continue working in the toy industry, and also hopefully do this more in the future, additional waves. And if we've established something with the factory and a relationship there, and we start to get better pricing, I would love to do like what Vala did, where it's like, okay, we're gonna knock prices down. Like that's super respectful. I love that. And I get people like looking at prices of toys and just being like, that's expensive. And it's like, yeah, they are. I buy toys all the time. I buy toys at a variety of different price points. And it's hard to look at, certain figures that are, $80 and certain figures that are $20. And it's like, hey, you don't know, like some of them are big, huge corporations that have been doing this for many years. Some of them are new at this, like, it's like, there's different levels. I know we price these out with 3 different factories. These prices are real prices. And I think that they are reasonable for what you get. And I know that Phil and I are not going to allow these to ship out to anyone without them living up to our standards. And our standards are very high because we've been doing this for so long, and because we want to continue doing this, we're literally like, we go out and we work for Hasbro, Mattel, Playmates, Play Along, Jazzwares, you name it. And it's like, if any of those companies have seen the Cursed Dead and like they're like, oh, we got a crappy Cursed Dead figure, they're not going to hire us again. So we need to deliver on these. Like they're going to be very good figures at the end of the day, I promise you.
And the other side of that coin is that you guys are industry professionals, which lends a lot to a confidence level that you can have going into a Kickstarter like this. Sometimes the Kickstarters, you're like, I don't know, this person has never made a toy in their life, or they're just kind of trying it out. And it's hard to like have confidence, but with you guys, I mean, you guys know what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, like there have been, many independent toy lines and stuff where oh, really, Trevor, you have? That's interesting that you've seen it. But in general, like, yeah, there are times where I'm like, I don't know how they're going to make price points work, because I know that, like, deco costs money, parts cost money. It's like, this is, I think it's, we're just being realistic with our pricing. And I hope people understand that. And yeah.
And there's always going to be people out there who are, no matter what, just going to be not happy with prices. It's just going to happen.
Yeah. And if you're going to go to BBTS, like, BBTS is amazing. They invest and risk money themselves in a lot of these indie toy lines, but they also have to mitigate that risk by putting 10 or 15 bucks on top of it. So if you want to a year and 3 or 4 months, pay extra 15 to not have to pay it until then, that's cool. But it's 85 on Kickstarter, so it's I feel like that's a pretty.
If you're gonna buy a bunch of these, you got to go with the Kickstarter. If you're gonna buy one, like, yeah, I could see like go, kind of like, okay, big bad toy store, but like if you're gonna buy a bunch, like there's no reason. I mean, aside from like, okay, you can't afford it right now, but then there comes the question: should you even really be buying toys in the first
I
place?
do that. I mean,
But like it's just gonna save you so much money to go direct.
I do a mix usually. Like I went in for like the deluxe or the standard all in kind of a thing, but it's like I'm gonna have to probably supplement my order through BBTS.
Yeah, totally.
Spread it out, So it's a nice to have that option for sure.
Yeah, and again, it's $40 and $85, but there's also those bundle options, and the bundle options knock those prices down further. So it's like if you are interested in more than one, please check out the bundles because that can save you some money.
Yeah. And set yourself a budget and then play around with the different options and see what you can kind of get for your budget.
Totally.
That's
hey, before we get into news though, Bill, is it cool if I open up this box?
Oh, that's right. Yes. Is he still here? Hold on. Let me
I don't know if D Blake Makes is around. He was in earlier, but he sent me this box.
I forgot.
So if you follow us on Instagram, you may have seen some of what's in this box, but I know that he definitely included some extra stuff because he is a very, very sweet human being.
He's here.
There he is. Yep.
Oh, community stickers, always good. I have like a huge box of community stickers that I'm aiming to someday like do like a table filled with stickers. I know a lot of people have done that and keep them all, but thank you. A lot of it's like Wade stickers. I have Wade stickers already.
The Four Horsemen put out their blank skateboard deck with it's just solid white, and a lot of people sticker that up.
That's that's a great idea. I would like in the skate deck is awesome too. I love that. All right, so the big thing that that D-Blake has done for us that he sent this to me, and I'm gonna take some photographs of it. And we're going to put this in as a Kickstarter add-on. So if anyone is interested, they'll be able to do this as an add-on for their campaign. I think we're going to put them up for $20 and then they'll ship with your once we ship out the order, you will get the signs as well. But he did the Cursed Dead signs in both black and white.
Black and white just pops.
Yeah, it's like both. I'm hard pressed to decide which one I like more, but I
can't. I tried.
They both kind of sing. Wow.
I'm getting both. All right. So.
The Cursed Dead.
Nice.
So whichever one goes better with your shelf aesthetic, you'll be able to add on. We'll have both versions on there. And they will be $20 each. And we're going to have them up on the site. Probably, I would say over the weekend, I will have them added into the Kickstarter campaign. And he did send me a ton of stuff. Oh, open last. So I'm going to follow instructions there. Because he knows, it's as you can look behind me, I have lots of stuff. And like I said, I'm a giant nerd for all sorts of things. So we got some Street Fighter action. I have a big display. I used to work at Soda Toys. So I have the Soda Street Fighter. I have the SHF Street Fighter figures. And then, of course, I'm buying the excellent Jada Street Fighter figures. Yeah. Phil, I got this as a present for Jesse.
Nice.
That awesome?
That's awesome.
We were talking about this earlier.
Oh yeah, KB was in here.
It's very missed, so I can look at it as a sign and cry a little bit. More Street Fighter goodness. KO. I have a dedicated Super Mario shelf right over here.
Oh yeah, I can
a little
see that.
Super Mario sign to go right above those. Can't have KB without also having TRU. And everyone, please, go check out D Blake Makes. Have more than one KO. So that's important. Open most last. So it's open last and then open most last. So
So he
let's
wrapped
see.
one and then he found another one. It's like, wait, I don't
I
want the other one.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Bear with me. Sorry, I should have. I didn't want. I wanted to be surprised, so I didn't
Yeah,
want to
no, it's good.
open these
It's good.
beforehand. Ah, this is dope. Bloody
Oh,
variants,
nice.
guys.
Dude,
All right.
that's cool, man.
I'm gonna talk to him. Hopefully, we can get this one up on there too. I'm assuming that this one is probably a little bit more work, so
Yeah, that's
probably
cool,
20
man.
for the regular logos and maybe 25 or something for this. I got to talk to him. But like this is awesome.
That's really cool.
Bloody version.
Dang.
Love it. All right. Open most last.
Yeah, chat likes it. I think he just signed
Yeah,
himself up for making some blood.
Trevor said that's the one. That's the best. Love
Yeah.
the bloody.
That's it. See, look at that. Like, now
What if it was
everyone's
like,
just going
no,
with the
that's-
bloody one.
Yeah.
So, I do the Toy Amigos the podcast. I'm not on there. I'm like a part timer. But one of the thing, I'm a big anime fan. Big My Hero Academia. You can see my Plus Ultra pillow back here is home to some of the 2-ups as well. But I always sign off by yelling Plus Ultra, which is what Deku does in My Hero. So now I have my own little word balloon. Plus Ultra. It's awesome. Steve Lake, I love you. You're the greatest.
That
Super
bloody
amazing.
one's rad.
Yeah, the blood like this
Yeah, hold that up
That-
again.
is awesome.
That's cool.
Super, super cool. You are the best, D Blake. And yeah, please go check out his site, his Instagram. He's awesome.
I'm in for all three.
All right.
Damn.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thanks for sharing, guys.
Of course.
And again-
Thank you for having us.
The Cursed Dead on Kickstarter. Go back it. It's got about 8-9 days left, somewhere in there. A little over a week
So it's
left.
Saturday, February 1st at around 6 p.m. Pacific time
Yeah.
is when the campaign will
And-
end.
And one thing people should note when you're looking at it right now, it's not yet at the halfway point, but you got to understand
Everyone
the big
waits.
bad bump.
Yeah.
The big bad bump, right? You guys are going to put that towards the campaign total, right?
I believe that's the case. I have not had this we sent them all of the solicitation info, and
Yeah.
then we haven't spoken to them about it other than once they got the solicitations up. So I certainly hope that is the case. I
Yeah.
assume it is because I believe that's how it's worked out for others in the past.
For others, yeah.
But
And
yeah.
like usually that gets updated at some point, and it kind of moves things along. So like
Yeah.
don't balk at the fact that it's not at the halfway point yet. Like now that it's on Big Bad Toy Store, this has, a very real chance of funding. I think, it's got a whole over week left. So yeah.
Exactly.
Can I answer the questions? I have 2 questions for me here.
Yeah. What do you got?
I do work with clay for fun, not for work. And I am Mexican and Irish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
Adam Power is Ramirez, who has a channel and does a lot of Mythic Legions reviews,
Oh,
and he's
nice.
friends with the Four Horsemen, and he's always at like the Legions Con and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I used to know those guys. Those guys are cool guys. Nice guys.
Yeah, Phil did work for McFarlane back when they were at McFarlane.
yeah, nice.
Yeah. Falcons
right.
in the chat.
Okay, so there's a little bit of toy news. I'm going to do a couple toy news, then we'll spin the wheel for the drawing, and then we'll do the Four Horsemen news from the week. So, actually, let me.
That's cool.
I kind of need to pull this down for a minute. I'm going to pull the banner down for a minute so that we can see the bottom. So Godbeast has, I think it's like a 3-figure collaboration thing dropping tomorrow night. So Glyos dropped tomorrow night from God Beast. This is the reverse Scarabite colorway. So they've done it like where it's mostly the lighter blue color and the accent colors are those other ones. And now this is the sort of like the negative or the reverse colorway on that. So that's tomorrow night. And then Spaced Out had their drop last week or 2 weeks ago. And this is the one thing that's still there. This is their Belgarian, and this is one they have some slightly customized where it's like it's got a wash on it, so it's a little bit more, but it's got like that kind of custom lined out look to it. That's currently still available. The other two from the drop are gone, but that's still available too. I just wanted to kind of shout out some of the Glyos stuff. We'll be coming back with another Glyos episode at some point. It's not yet scheduled, but Steph is in here, my co-host for that show, and we're working on that next one. And we'll hopefully have something either by the end of the month or into early February for a Glyos guest.
Those are cool. I've always been kind of like interested from afar on Glyos. Like, Dan Larson got me in with his couple.
Yep.
So like, I'm like, have like the smallest of toes in, and it's like,
right.
Yeah, same, Josh. Those speak to me, man. Those are that's super cool.
They got me with this one for sure. This is the spinoffs. I think Gestasio was involved with this one, I believe.
Let me put you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 1,000 Toys collaboration.
1,000 Toys,
yeah.
Which are some of my favorite superposable action figures that I own, and it's some new tooling pieces on 1,000 Toys base body. Yeah, I have the Knights of the Slice also on a shelf over here. Big fan of those as well.
Super nice figures.
Yeah, the 1,000 Toys synthetic human body, I own like all of the releases. And I have this and the Knights of the Slice as well. Super cool.
Okay, so that was some Glyos stuff, and then we have Savage Crucible with their Elric figure. That is currently up for pre-order. It's got about a month that it's going to run. So it says up top there, 28 days left. There's two options. The first one is if you ordered, well, there's three options really. They're going to eventually have it at retail for $60. If you order direct, you can get it for $50 with a $5 deposit, or you can pay the full up front for $45. And then, there's shipping on top of that, but those are your options there. One of the things that they had revealed later, when it dropped, I don't think it was revealed until it had dropped, or maybe the night before it dropped, but cloth cape with wires. And then it has a third head that is a generic armored head, so that if you wanted to like turn this into a Melnibonean builder, you could like have that alternate head. And that, I wish I had put the other picture of that up, like a close up. It's a really cool head sculpt. So
I pre-ordered, paid in full.
Same. I ordered a couple because I want to have that alternate head on there too.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I copied the God Beast thing on accident. That's okay. All right. So Snake Man, do you like my background?
That's all.
Let me pull this up in one last call, everybody, to win the Ninan Infantry from Four Horsemen. As always, that is made possible by our channel members and the super chatters who contribute money and help keep the lights on here. So Snake Man, which is funny because earlier I saw Joe Vasapolo had put his name. He had done Snake Man as well, and he works for Four Horsemen Studio. So if he wins, I don't know.
Hey, shout out to Joe. He picked up a head for me at Legion's Con, and I actually scaled it down for one of his Mezco Krigs. It's like a transparent green thing. It was pretty cool. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
There's some
30 seconds.
135 watching, 125 entry. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a lot of entries because usually it's like maybe 50% ish.
Yeah.
That's, I guess the Ninian is a
yeah, that's a good one.
Wade keeps all the toys for himself with the super chats.
That's well known.
All right, here we go. Oh, I got to go over to the other page here. Hang on.
No whammies, no whammies.
126 entries, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
Joe's
Who's it
gonna
going to be? James Rosa. Congratulations, James Rosa. As usual, just email me at podcast@dorklair.com. Unless we're already connected, if we're on like social media and you want to DM me. But the best way to do it is to email me at podcast@dorklair.com. It's down in the description. If you can get that to me like right now, I'll pack it up tonight and ship it because I got a box already going out. So send that over right now if you can, and then I'll drop it. I'll get you tracking tonight, and then I'll drop it off tomorrow. So congratulations, James Rosa. All right, go back to this. And speaking of Snake Man, we've got the Cosmic Legion's character packs, which is interesting because I'm saving for the dragon.
Yeah.
And when they said, it was like 2 weeks ago, Jeremy had Trevor on and they were talking about the book, and they signed off with, we'll see you in 2 weeks and we'll have an Out of This World episode. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to get another like wave of Cosmic like right now while I'm saving for the dragon, which is supposed to be March. Thank God it's just a couple heads packs. It's essentially a $50 all in, which is pretty reasonable when
Unless
it
you
comes
need
to
the figures.
like, right. Unless you need the figures. I don't think I need to buy any of the figures, but the first one is the snake head that goes on. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Not Thygar.
Lygar.
Yeah, Thygar. Yeah. So the snake head that goes on Thygar. So this is the Ninan head repainted. Very cool look right here. And there's going to be options where if you do need to get a Thygar, that you can order the head pack, which all these head packs are $10. And then if you wanted to order it with the figure, it would be a total of $40. So you're saving, like they usually do the standard figures for $37, right? Or $40. So, I mean, it's almost like you're getting the figure and then the heads pack for free. And so you have that one. And then you have the Kragnar colored, the Arakagor head on the Kragnar colors in the tail. And it'll look like this.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that the Baradoc, the dark Black Knight, and some of his armor parts, if you wanted to do the orange red dragon as a mythic, get an extra Baradoc, and then you could like swap the parts and put like mythic armor on him. I think that would look really good.
Yeah.
And then we have a female heads pack that goes with Zirian Spire, and they do come with the necks. And these are straightforward human paint jobs on these. So you could put these on mythic or cosmic, but that's how they look on the Ziri body. Repaints, of course. The one on the left is a repaint of the like the Thrace head, and then the one on the right is a repaint of the Ziri head itself.
Those are the first. I mean, I know they can go on mythics too, but those are the first human heads on cosmic figures, right? At least 4 cosmic figures.
Was there
Everything
one more? There might have been one more. Maybe it's not out yet. I thought they had teased one more. Joe says he sees a half elf over here.
That's true.
Yeah.
She does have that.
Definitely, especially when I don't have the picture, but they had put it on the elf body, the elf like builder set body, and it definitely looked like a half elf.
Oh, ATL 25.
Oh, so Fisher Rice. Oh, ATL 25 is the one. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was something. And then we have the Sphexians, and they repainted the helmets. So the helmet only came on the block officer or whatever it was, the the guard, prison guard or whatever. And so now the other 2 Sphexians can get the helmeted look. And that's how they look with those on.
Nice.
Yeah, these are pretty sweet. I love the Sphexians.
Yeah,
They have that,
They give me
like-
serious like Rick and Morty vibes.
Yeah, and the not the black one, but the orange one and then the blue one, they have that like shimmery paint. And speaking of paint, we should probably mention Eric Miller, who I don't think is
He's here.
Oh yeah, he is here. Okay. So Eric Miller did the paint work on all of these except for the female heads, which were done by Sherry Cook. But all of the paint work was done by Eric Miller. So Eric Miller is now officially a 4 Horsemen painter. And these look incredible. The matching and
Well
the
done.
detail on these look amazing.
Yep.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats again, Eric. So cool. Okay, and then lastly, we have the Greyborn alien guy. So this is the Ias Sepetian, like the colors for Ias Sepetian, and a couple new sculpts. So this is the 3rd and 4th sculpts technically for these. They all are very similar, but there's some slight differences. Like this one's got the teeth showing, and the one on the right doesn't have the scar and stuff. So they all have slight differences, but there are now 4 different head sculpts for the Greyborn. And then that's how they look on there.
Yeah, I love that war paint one.
Yeah, it's awesome. It
That's
gives
not-
me, yeah, it's like it just totally transforms that race, right? Like when you think of these guys as like being these peaceful, sort of like
Right.
telepaths or whatever, like having him have war paint just totally changes it.
I know they were, and they looked very pacifist, but these 2 head sculpts like completely transform them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. So there's 5 head packs, and then each head pack will be direct from 4 Horsemen, starting February 7th and running 2 weeks. They're going to be $10 each if you order them direct. And then there's also going to be the bundle deals. Now, they did say that they're not running new copies of the figures. They're not going to do another production run of the figures themselves. Now, the heads are new production, but they are somewhat limited to the number of figures they're going to have available for bundles. So if you want a bundle, get in early and order them early, because the bundle sets may sell out. Now retailers will have, none of these figures are really sold out at retail. So retailers will have these figures and stuff. So if they do sell out, you can get them. And then all of this stuff will be available at retail, but of course, as usual, when you order direct, it's technically a discounted early bird price. When you order from retail, it's going to be a little more. So when this is up on Big Bad Toy Store, Nerdzoic, or any of the other retailers, it'll be a little bit more, but similar thing here where it's like you can pay up front and get a discount, or you can sort of pay when it ships and it's going to cost you a little bit more. And Wade is impressed with how I remember the names.
I mean, I am too.
It's just a lot of
Consonants.
doing reviews. It's a lot of doing reviews and doing like toy news stuff over the years, and making like recap videos after, a wave. That's how
I have a ton of Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions, and I know the Krampus is a Krampus, but I don't it's like a lot of the character names. It's like I know the Valiant Knight is the Valiant Knight that I have, but individual names. Woof, man.
I could probably name. I think I could name everything except for the birds. If somebody just did pictures, I would stumble and take me some time for recall because I'm old. But I would be able to name everything from the line. I think.
Dang.
Except for maybe the most recent wave, that I haven't really learned yet.
Not super familiar with
yet.
Yeah.
This is a great way to maybe drum create new looks for characters that have been out, and then also spark more interest in some of those figures that have been around, and you can give them completely new looks, use these on other figures. It's a smart idea. I hope they continue doing it,
Very smart.
and it's a pop and swap line, so if you have an extra Thygar and you have an extra Valiant Knight or maybe one of those knights from the armory, like you could take his blue lizard parts that they can just be like Ninian and like they can be like a Ninian or whatever, and you can just like put mythic armor on it and they can carry over to the other line. So it's a lot of crossover with these as well. And that'll do it.
They look awesome. $5 a head.
Yes. And Joe is pointing out that it's $10 for a head pack of 2 heads. The only one that doesn't come with 2 heads is the big dragon, and it comes with a head and a tail. So it's actually like even more, more plastic than, and also probably a lot more paint. Like the paint detail on that thing is crazy. Wish she had blue lower legs. Yeah, I mean they're doing the Thraxians, and those are gonna have lower legs and stuff, but not blue. But all right. Well, thank you guys for coming on and sharing.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having us.
Wish you luck with the rest of the campaign. Do you have any other stops on your tour here?
Yeah, we have quite a few shows still lined up. I know we've got next week we're doing the Yes Have Some, the YHS crew, the Toy Anxiety show. We're gonna do some more stuff with Wade. Oh, we have 3 POA. We're gonna be on 3 POA. I think we're gonna pop back on with, let's see, geez, I gotta look at my calendar. We were on with what's it, Dave Wonder. So I think we're gonna go back on Dave Wonder. I think we'll do Wade. Might do ACBA again as well next week. Basically, like down at the end, we're gonna kind of be hitting everyone either
Circling
again
back.
or rapid fire. Yeah.
Hey, 78.
78 points of articulation. I asked if we're going to be on highly posable. It's like he and I spoke about it, and then he didn't schedule anything with me. So hit me up. I love you.
Probably got to talk to Whale or KJ or something. 78.
Yeah. Josh, do you have another drop of those robo heads coming up, or?
Robo, they're in stock now.
They are. Okay.
Yeah, I did post some more.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've been a little quiet on the custom side, but that's because I'm actually actively working on some stuff that hasn't been shown yet. So
right.
Dave Wonder actually did, so I can blow the horn on that one. But I'm working on ahead with Dave Wonder too. I'm kind of trying to start this toy tuber like kind of collection, just kind of go around and collaborate with all the people that I kind of talk to and hang out with, and online and stuff. So it's been fun. So
nice.
Yeah.
What are you using to sculpt your stuff? You sculpting stuff?
Not me. No, I have to farm that out. So I use Giant Art a lot on Instagram, Giancarlo, and then for another project, I used Jeremy Wilson, Monster Machine Creations, recently.
Both amazing sculptors. Yeah. Great stuff.
I'll probably follow them on Instagram. There's so many insanely talented people.
Yeah, it's wild. Wade, you were the first. Odious Hands. So you were technically the first toy tuber collab we had.
Yeah. That's right. I have those. I need to put those on my Odious. They're somewhere. I still have a little pile of stuff from Legion's Con that needs sorting.
No.
Josh, Wade isn't a toy tuber anymore. He's a toy maker.
Toy maker. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I need to create another section on the site. Toy maker collab.
Toy maker.
Toy tuber. Yeah.
And then have a little overlap section.
If this gets funded, I hope we get to Legion Con. I really want to see that.
It's an experience. It really is something else. It is such a good. It's almost like a whole week at this point. I can't even call it a weekend anymore.
Last year was my first time, and I'm glad I went. We showed up Thursday night and then stayed until Monday. And
that's the way to go. Yeah. because you want to be there
Right.
Friday morning when the reveal happens, and you want to be in that room, right? And you want to be there for both days. Like, it's so big. Like, there, it's not huge show, but there's so many pieces on display that it's so hard to see everything, and you kind of need the full 2 days. And then it's such a circle of friends that, like, you're constantly just chatting, and it's like, it's overwhelming almost. So having multiple days is crucial.
Yeah, I saw nothing. Like, I was at the table and then I talked
That's
to
right.
people all the time, which is great. It was awesome. Like, it was, and I went Thursday night because I was in the draw for the lottery for the intern. Just fingers crossed that I got it, but didn't. But I was like, well, we'll still show up Thursday. I had a blast. It was great. People were there already, and so it was awesome.
It's got to be the only convention that people literally talk about nonstop all year long. Like the Legion's community, we are constantly talking about it all year. It's crazy. And then there's previews all year long and stuff too. But all right, so that'll do it for us today. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Thank you, chat. Thank you for the super chats and all the support. And congrats to the winner of the giveaway. I do have more, so I'm gonna at least give one more away of the Snake Men before I hoard the rest for myself. But all right, thanks everybody. Until next time, may the force be with you.